What is up? Welcome into yet another edition of Benstant Reaction, not the Ben Garcia Show, an instant reaction to all things sports, news, or something breaking within the sports world. Last night, the San Francisco 49ers put a beatdown on the New York Jets. Wanted to get a few thoughts out to you guys, so without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Right off the bat, the New York Jets are just a real-life tire fire. This is what happens when you don't take the offseason seriously. This is what happens when you become lazy. And Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets have become lazy. It's very similar to the Phoenix Suns if you want a cross-sport reference in the team that I could throw a stone at and be able to hit their stadium. The Phoenix Suns, similar to the New York Jets, wanted microwave success. And who's the most similar cross-sports reference to a team in the Phoenix Suns than to a player like Kevin Durant to Aaron Rodgers? Both very moody, you're beholden to them, and oftentimes you normally get more than you bargain for. And this is kind of the issue. This is why I have always said, and this is why something I will repeatedly say on this channel, noisy off-seasons almost are directly correlative to disappointing regular seasons. Last year, I was more so on the Jets than a lot of other people. I was one of those people banging the Jets drum, basically saying, look at everything around this team. The offensive line wasn't great. And then, of course, this team still won 7-8 games. 6, 7, 8 games. Can't remember exactly what it was. And I, at that point, was like, if Aaron Rodgers was there, maybe it would have been different. More of something to prove, a chip on his shoulder, whatever it might be. But this year, although Aaron Rodgers has preached no distractions, no distractions, no distractions, he has been the lightning rod for all distractions for this New York Jets team. That is the problem with noisy off seasons. And whether it's going and doing ayahuasca in some different country, missing out on mandatory mini camps, doing things like taking a scheduled vacation is just mind-boggling and insane, but it's what happens when you are beholden to a superstar in whatever sports it is. Microwave success. Phoenix Suns tried to do that with Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant. What happened? It imploded. The New York Jets, microwave success. A debacle of an organization, a debacle of a franchise, are too beholden to Aaron Rodgers. So what are they going to say? No, you have to be at minicamp? The last thing you want is a moody, upset, feels like he's not wanted Aaron Rodgers. So they were beholden to it. They were crossing their fingers. And this is what happens. Aaron Rodgers is officially the pick-me personality quarterback. And there's good to that, and there's bad to that. Good to that meaning he likes the attention, he's a good quote, he's fun to be able to react to, more so for my job. The bad news with being a pick-me quarterback like Aaron Rodgers is he wants all of the fame, all of the attention, all of the spotlight, but zero of the criticism. Have you ever noticed why Aaron Rodgers will only go on shows or hang out with people that he's uber close to? Pat McAfee show. Pat McAfee will never ask Aaron Rodgers a tough question. They're buddies. He doesn't want to screw up that relationship, and Aaron Rodgers knows that. Aaron has always been beholden to Aaron. He's a little self-centered, a little selfish. I believe these aren't things that I'm pointing out of thin air. These are all things that have been regurgitated. But the New York Jets are a real-life tire fire. They have put all their chips in the Aaron Rodgers basket, and like I saw the other day, Aaron Rodgers wasn't even that good with the Green Bay Packers in his final season. I have been throwing that out there. And basically what has been said, or what I've seen, is Aaron Rodgers hasn't had a 300-yard passing game in over 1,000 days. I'm not saying Aaron is washed, because he doesn't look completely cooked. I've seen washed before. I've watched Russell Wilson all last year. He doesn't look completely cooked. but the Jets' offense is stagnant. It's more name recognition than actual production on the field. Outside of Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, what do they have? Seriously, outside of the offense that has Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, and a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, what do the Jets have? And they're a tire fire, they're beholden, and the worst thing that could have happened last night came true. They were gashed by a second-string running back. The defense that is supposed to be their backbone of that team, and just Aaron Rodgers give them competent quarterback play to allow them to be a stable organization to be able to finally make the playoffs. Their defense wasn't even great last night. Continuously gashed by Jordan Mason. There is no reason that game should have been as lopsided as it was. But this is what happens when you have noisy off seasons. This is what happens when you can't stay out of the spotlight. This is what happens when you are beholden to a quarterback who has not been great since his second to last season in Green Bay. Check the stats. Aaron wasn't great in his final year in Green Bay. And the Jets, being the tire fire organization that they are, hitched their wagon to him. And what's going to happen at the end of the day is Aaron Rodgers will likely retire at the end of the year. Robert Saleh will get fired. Joe Douglas will get fired. And it will eventually all implode on the New York Jets. Because microwave success doesn't work in sports. It doesn't. Nowhere. It always takes time to cook. Let me say that one more time. Microwave success doesn't work in any sport. And it especially doesn't work for garbage organizations. Microwave success doesn't work for dysfunctional organizations. It especially doesn't work for dysfunctional organizations like the New York Jets. That is what the New York Jets are. And what they tried to do was catch lightning in a bottle, go get Aaron Rodgers, and say, here, Aaron, lead us. The offense is stagnant. It was not even remotely an offense that you can get behind. It was boring. It was lackluster. It was very simple. Aaron didn't look anything like his former MVP self. They were gashed on the they were gashed on the defensive line by Jordan Mason. It was a horrendous effort by the New York Jets. And although they have a very easy schedule over the next coming weeks, and they'll stagger up 4 or 5 wins in a row, here's the New York Jets schedule over the next few weeks. Don't buy into the New York Jets. We saw what they were last night. And over the next couple of weeks, they're going to face Will Levis, Jacoby Brissett, Bo Nix, and Sam Darnold. And they're going to be 4-1. And everyone's going to be riding high on the New York Jets. Don't let your eyes deceive you. Their first test last night against the San Francisco 49ers, they were brutally manhandled by a short-handed 49ers team. This is who they are. They're a less than stellar offense with less names than you think they actually have on offense. Outside of Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, what else is there? 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers? And then you add all the dysfunction of Aaron not showing up to mini camps and Aaron going and doing ayahuasca trips and now Aaron releasing a documentary. It's just too much noise. It's not going to work. The New York Jets are going to flame out. And what's going to happen at the end of the year? Aaron Rodgers will retire, Joe Douglas will be fired, and Robert Saleh will be fired. Because microwave success does not work in any sports. And it especially doesn't work with dysfunctional organizations who haven't been good for decades. And the New York Jets are going to learn their lesson of trying to microwave success at the end of the season when everyone loses their jobs. Because this team and what we saw last night was pathetic. There should have been an uproar for a team finally getting their quarterback back and ready to show the world they're ready to take the world by storm. That is not what they did, and their defense should be the backbone of this team, and they were gashed last night by a second-string running back. this New York Jets team has trouble written all over them. And at the end of the season, it is going to result in multiple people losing their jobs and someone retiring. Those being Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, and then retiring at the end of the season, Aaron Rodgers. Because this is nothing but a real-life tire fire, and don't let your eyes deceive you after they go on a winning streak against Will Levis and Jacoby Brissett and Bo Nix and Sam Darnold. This is not a good football team. Who knows? They might make the playoffs, but if they do, they will absolutely be a one and done. They are not a true contender for the Super Bowl, and potentially not a real playoff contender.